The 2027 GMC Sierra 1500 Hybrid just walked straight into the full-size truck segment and completely rewrote the rulebook overnight. This is not just another fuel-sipping pickup truck built purely for daily commuters. This is the moment where America's favorite work trucks finally stop making you pick between raw, honest power and real fuel savings. Here's the headline everyone right now is talking about. This truck brings torque that genuinely rivals a diesel, towing confidence that matches a big traditional V8, and hybrid efficiency that doesn't force you to give up an ounce of true, honest truck capability. That combination is exactly why it's catching so many people off guard. And honestly, it's about time a full-size truck actually delivered on that promise instead of just teasing it in a press release. For years, hybrid pickups like the Ford F-150 PowerBoost proved that the technology could work. But a lot of traditional truck buyers still saw them as a compromise, something built for fuel economy at the expense of muscle. GMC set out to change that entire mindset with the Sierra Hybrid. The goal was simple on paper, but difficult in practice. Build a truck that pulls heavy loads like a classic V8, delivers noticeably better real-world fuel economy, and provides instant electric torque that actually boosts performance rather than just trimming fuel bills. Once you dig into how GMC engineered this system piece by piece, it becomes obvious that this isn't a side project, a marketing gimmick, or some niche trim level built to check a box on a spec sheet. This is where the entire Sierra lineup is heading, and once buyers understand that, the whole conversation around hybrid trucks starts to shift. Let's start with the way it looks, because GMC took a smart approach here. At first glance, nothing about the Sierra Hybrid screams futuristic or experimental. And that's completely intentional. It keeps the bold, squared-off stance that Sierra buyers already love. But look a little closer, and you'll start noticing small aerodynamic tweaks that genuinely matter out on the highway. There's a slightly reshaped grille designed to improve airflow, active shutters built into that grille that open and close automatically depending on how much cooling the powertrain needs, a redesigned lower front fascia that cuts down on drag at highway speeds, and new wheel designs that were shaped with both brake cooling and aerodynamic efficiency in mind, rather than styling alone. None of these changes scream for attention, but together they add up to real gains once you're out on the open road. Here's the engineering insight worth understanding. Automakers have learned that hybrid trucks don't need wild, futuristic styling to stand out. What they need is functional efficiency hidden inside a design language buyers already recognize and trust. GMC nailed that balance with this truck. The lighting has been sharpened as well, with updated LED signatures that make the Sierra Hybrid instantly recognizable after dark. It still looks every bit as tough and purposeful as the trucks that came before it, but now there's a lot more happening behind the scenes, quietly working to make the whole truck smarter, cooler running, and more efficient without ever sacrificing that unmistakable Sierra presence on the road. Now let's talk about the part that changes everything, the hybrid powertrain itself. This is where the Sierra Hybrid truly separates itself from anything GMC has built before. Under the hood, you'll find a turbocharged gasoline engine paired with a high-output electric motor and a next-generation battery pack. But here's the thing that most coverage misses. The real breakthrough isn't just the individual hardware components sitting under the hood, it's how seamlessly all of those pieces work together as a single, coordinated system that constantly adjusts itself to whatever you're asking the truck to do in that moment. So what actually makes this setup different from other hybrids on the market? First, there's instant torque fill. The electric motor essentially wipes out turbo lag completely, so the moment you press the throttle down, power arrives immediately instead of that familiar half-second delay while the turbo spools up. Second, there's intelligent load leveling built directly into the software. When you're towing something heavy, whether it's a boat, a camper, or a loaded trailer, the hybrid system automatically distributes power between the gas engine and the electric motor to cut down on mechanical strain and heat buildup, especially during long, sustained pulls. Third, the regenerative braking has been specifically tuned for truck use. Unlike smaller hybrid cars and crossovers, this system is calibrated to account for payload and trailer weight, meaning it can continue recovering usable energy even while you're hauling a heavy trailer down the highway, something most lighter hybrid systems simply aren't built to handle. Here's why that matters from a pure engineering standpoint. Traditional truck engines tend to struggle most when they're hit with sudden, unpredictable load changes, like merging into fast-moving highway traffic while towing a heavy trailer behind you. Hybrid systems like this one help smooth out those power spikes in real time, which improves both long-term mechanical durability and, just as importantly, driver confidence behind the wheel in stressful towing situations. Let's clear up the single biggest misconception people have about this truck right away, because it comes up constantly in comment sections. This truck is not slow. In fact, it's genuinely quick off the line, and more importantly, it's strong exactly where truck buyers care most: under load, on grades, and while towing. Early expectations suggest torque figures that genuinely rival dedicated diesel setups. Strong 0 to 60 acceleration numbers thanks to that instant electric assist kicking in right off the line, and confident, composed towing performance even when you're climbing long, steep mountain grades with a full trailer behind you. Where this hybrid system really shines, though, is in everyday, real-world driving. There's no annoying lag when you're merging into traffic. Acceleration stays smooth and linear even with a full load in the bed or a trailer hitched up. There's also noticeably less gear hunting when towing uphill, which happens to be one of the most frustrating and annoying traits of traditional automatic transmissions once they're placed under real strain on a long grade. Compared to conventional V8-powered trucks, the Sierra Hybrid feels noticeably more responsive off the line, less stressed when it's working hard under a full load, and surprisingly refined and composed during stop-and-go city driving, which is exactly where a lot of traditional trucks feel they're clumsiest. Now for the part that might be the biggest game changer of all: fuel efficiency. This is where the Sierra Hybrid truly flips the script on what a full-size truck can be. Full-size trucks have always had one glaring, well-known weakness, and that's fuel consumption, especially during city driving and while towing anything of real weight. GMC is addressing that limitation head-on with this new hybrid system rather than tiptoeing around it. Expected improvements include significant gains in city driving efficiency, noticeably better fuel economy during towing cycles, and reduced fuel waste from idling thanks to the truck's ability to run on electric power alone for short stretches under the right conditions, instead of burning gas just sitting still. Here's an insight that a lot of casual truck shoppers tend to overlook completely. Hybrid trucks don't just save fuel while you're sitting idle in traffic. They also save fuel during actual work cycles, which is exactly where traditional trucks burn through the most gas. Think about idling on a job site, stop-and-go hauling around a work site, or urban delivery routes with constant starting and stopping. That's precisely where the Sierra Hybrid is expected to deliver real, measurable value that owners can actually feel at the pump, not just impressive numbers pulled from a controlled lab test that never quite match reality. Step inside, and you'll find GMC leaning hard into premium territory, especially in higher trims like the Denali. Key highlights include a large, high-resolution infotainment display that feels genuinely modern, a fully digital instrument cluster capable of showing real-time hybrid energy flow right in front of the driver, premium materials spread throughout the cabin including soft leather, brushed metal accents, and rich wood-tone trim, and noticeably improved cabin insulation that keeps road noise, wind noise, and engine noise out of the cabin for a quieter, more relaxed ride, whether you're commuting or towing on the highway. The hybrid system also brings entirely new displays into the cabin that weren't there before, letting drivers monitor real-time power distribution between the gas engine and the electric motor, keep an eye on current battery charge levels at a glance, and rely on built-in efficiency coaching tools specifically designed to help drivers get the absolute most out of the hybrid system over time. Here's a useful insight. Drivers who actually understand how their hybrid system operates tend to see noticeably better real-world efficiency numbers. GMC's new interface is designed specifically to make that learning curve as easy as possible. Let's address the elephant in the room directly, because plenty of truck buyers are asking it. Is the hybrid Sierra still a real, capable truck? The answer is a confident yes. And in several important ways, it might actually turn out to be better than the traditional trucks that came before it in this same lineup. Expected capabilities include towing capacity that's genuinely competitive with traditional gas-powered rivals in the same segment, improved low-speed control thanks to that instant electric torque available right from a standstill, and advanced trailer assist systems built directly into the truck's software rather than offered as a separate add-on. Where it genuinely improves on the old formula includes noticeably better stability when starting from a complete stop with a heavy trailer attached, meaningfully less strain placed on the drivetrain during continuous heavy load driving over long distances, and a more predictable, more linear throttle response overall that makes the truck easier to modulate in tight spots. Compared to trucks like the Ram 1500 with its e-torque mild hybrid setup, GMC's approach here is far more advanced overall and delivers genuinely true hybrid performance, not just a mild, marginal bump in efficiency numbers on a spec sheet. For off-road enthusiasts specifically, this hybrid system brings a hidden advantage that a lot of coverage hasn't really touched on yet, and that advantage is precision control at low speeds. Electric motors deliver instant, precisely metered torque at very low speeds, which translates directly into smoother crawling over rocks and obstacles on the trail, along with noticeably reduced wheel spin on tricky, loose, or slippery terrain where traditional throttle control can feel jumpy and unpredictable. This makes trims like the AT4 even more capable off the beaten path than before. The reason this matters is that electric torque is incredibly valuable off-road specifically because it's predictable and immediate, unlike a combustion engine that needs to build revs before it delivers real power to the wheels. Now let's tackle the big question that's genuinely on everyone's mind whenever a new hybrid truck comes along. Will it actually hold up over years of hard, honest use? GMC appears to have taken this concern seriously from the start, building in reinforced cooling systems for both the battery pack and the electric motor to handle sustained heat, heavy-duty calibration specifically tuned for real towing conditions rather than average commuter driving, and proven hybrid components that have been thoughtfully adapted for truck-level demands rather than simply borrowed straight from a passenger car or crossover. Here's an important insight that's worth remembering as this technology matures. Hybrid systems can actually reduce overall wear on the traditional combustion engine by sharing the workload between two power sources, especially during high-stress moments like towing up a long, steep grade or accelerating hard from a dead stop with a full load on board. The real test, of course, will ultimately be long-term durability proven out under years of heavy towing, harsh weather, and honest daily use. But the early engineering signals coming out of GMC so far are genuinely promising and worth paying attention to. So how does this truck actually stack up against its closest rivals in this fast-growing hybrid truck segment? Against the Ford F-150 PowerBoost Hybrid, Ford already proved years ago that hybrid trucks can genuinely work in the real world for everyday owners. But GMC seems to be focusing more heavily on refinement, smoothness, and overall towing composure with this new system. Against the Toyota Tundra iForce Max, Toyota tends to lean toward emphasizing raw performance numbers above everything else, while GMC appears to be aiming for a more balanced approach, pairing strong performance with genuine premium comfort throughout the cabin. And against traditional V8-powered trucks in general, the hybrid clearly comes out ahead when it comes to efficiency and everyday responsiveness in normal driving, while the V8 still holds a slight edge in raw mechanical simplicity for buyers who value that above all else. Though that gap appears to be shrinking fast year after year as this hybrid technology continues to mature and improve. Stepping back and looking at the bigger picture, why does this particular truck matter so much? The 2027 Sierra Hybrid isn't just a new model added to the lineup. It represents a genuine shift in how full-size trucks are built going forward. Trucks are becoming smarter, not weaker, and buyers are finally starting to notice the difference. Efficiency no longer has to mean compromise behind the wheel, the way it often did with earlier generations of hybrid pickups. Electrification, at least in this case, is clearly being used to enhance capability rather than replace it entirely, which is exactly the reassurance longtime truck buyers have been asking for. This is exactly what a whole lot of loyal truck buyers have been quietly waiting for all along. A truck that still feels familiar, trustworthy, and unmistakably a Sierra, but performs better across nearly every single measurable category that actually matters to real owners on a day-to-day basis. So, should you be genuinely excited about the 2027 GMC Sierra 1500 Hybrid? Yes, absolutely. But it's still worth keeping your expectations grounded and realistic heading in. If maximum mechanical simplicity and fewer moving parts is what you're really after, A traditional gas engine is still going to be the simpler, more familiar choice for you. But if what you actually want is cutting-edge performance combined with real, measurable efficiency gains without giving up the towing muscle a truck is supposed to have, this new Sierra is shaping up to be exactly that truck. The 2027 GMC Sierra 1500 Hybrid proves something genuinely important about where the truck world is headed. The future isn't electric versus gas. It's electric and gas working together as one system. And for the first time in this competitive full-size segment, that combination actually feels like a genuine upgrade you're gaining, rather than a compromise you're forced to accept just to squeeze out a little better fuel economy at the pump.